Anyway, that's it. The end of the Dorset series here on Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures. We've had a fantastic time uploading our Dorset series videos, but now it's day 4, the journey home. Boom. Okay then guys, here we go. This is it. Coming to the end of this series, but obviously all good things come to an end. And let's now face it. So we're now going to just proceed on to the second exit just now. So there's all the buses.
Now leave the roundabout.
So there's all the buses at Pools bus station. Those are all the people, all the holiday makers. The open top's in on the 60 service bound for Sandbanks. So there's the bus station. Goodbye to Pool. It's been a pleasure.
Leave at the 4th exit.
Been a pleasure. It's time to move on, and I'll explain more once I'm at the other end and how this happened when I was just going behind the scenes, and all will be revealed later in the programme.
Now leave the roundabout and then leave the roundabout at the 2nd exit.
Anyway, here we go. Anyway, there's goodbye to more bus. There's that's a Volvo B7 RLA Right Eclipse Urban Body Saloon, single deck. So anyway, that's Pool Town Centre over there. Anyway,
have you got to watch it in the back?
Now turn right.
Can you turn that off?
Anyway, we're now going to turn right.
Turn it off then, actually. It's very muggy in the front.
Okay, yep. Anyway, there's one of the buildings. Anyway, we're now departing Pool. And anyway, there's Pool Station, served by South Western Train Services. It is it. Out of Pool, 30 miles an hour. There's a here's the hotel and pub, the Premier Inn with the table, where we've been multiple times in the past, and we'll be and obviously I'm going to explain once again more how we made this into reality, and why did you recognise that I've been doing lifts in Pool. Well, I'll explain more later on in the programme. Anyway, here comes some directional signage coming up. This one is for London via the M3, Southampton the M27, and follow Ringwood the A31. So goodbye to this lovely water.
I think this is going to take us up the M3, you know.
Yeah, but apparently we need the M5.
Well, we need to sort it out then, don't we?
Yeah.
So,
in a quarter mile, leave the roundabout at the 2nd exit.
So I've got to sort it out. So I'll stop filming for now, and I'll see you in a moment. Okay. Now heading along day 35. guys, we're now going inland all the way for the rest of the year. It's been fantastic. So we are going to do some journeys back where we are, and there's a sign there for Creekmore, Upton
In
Country Park.
0.7 miles, leave the major road to the left.
Worthy. So you might be thinking what I've been doing. So here we go. Goodbye, Paul. It's the end.
Leave the major road at the next exit.
So what we're going to do?
Okay then. We're now 1 mile away from Dorchester, which is the birthplace of Thomas Hardy. Now, Thomas Hardy was a guy who wrote books, and there's actually a statue of the famous man himself in Dorchester. Now, this was also the place where a former Woolworths store became Wellworths, but it didn't really succeed that long. It was then renamed to Welchester, but suddenly the company had pulled out, and that was a shame. But I know Wellworths wasn't just the same as Woolworths compared to, because Woolworths was the best gem on the high street, and of course you even had Allworths, which also copied Woolworths, and there was even Wellworth It that was in Ledbury. So anyway, we're now coming into Dorchester. This is Dorchester now, with all the buildings. There's a Shell petrol station coming up. And Tops Tiles just right by it. So this reminds me a bit of coming into Rossiter Street in Shropshire. Anyway, there's a Peugeot garage and also Hyundai. So welcome to Dorchester. And also there's an advert for the Dorset County Show from the 6th and the 7th of September of this year. So we're now in the High Street in Dorchester. Well, part of the High Street where all the little independent shops are located. There's a customer car park. There's Tom Brahms. And so this is, so there's some car park information here. Short stay and long stay. And shoppers and long stay as well. 290 car parking spaces for shoppers and long stay, and 57 spaces for the other one.
In a quarter mile, leave the roundabout at the third exit.
In a quarter of a mile, leave the roundabout at the third exit. So we're now here. So wow, look at this place. Nice location, especially for tourists. Of course, you've got Dorset's Community Transport, their own version of the Ring and Ride. Got a hotel here, an old retro style an old hotel. Dorchester. So this is a really, really nice looking town. So we've got jewellers. You've got, so this is the main high street bit. That is possibly where you get where the Woolworths used to be, which became Poundland. So we're by St Peter's Church here in Dorchester. There's also 2 stations here in Dorchester. You've got Dorchester South and Dorchester West. Dorchester West is served by Great Western trains, whilst Dorchester South is served by South Western trains. South Western trains go towards London Waterloo, and the Great Western trains go towards Bristol way and also Gloucester. So here we go, going through Dorchester now. There's also Frank Herring & Son shop here. So here's the sign. So we're going to go right
at the third exit.
So we're going to leave at the third exit. So that's all the information on Dorchester. Nice place Dorchester is. So here we go.
You feel if that bloke had got
Alright then, here we go.
camera in our show and you appear.
Alright then, we're now heading along. Oh, there's a sign over there for Neverton. Neverton. I can't believe there's a sign over there for Neverton. We're nowhere near the Black Country. We're in Dorset in the on the south. Anyway, just continuing along in 1.8 miles. We're going to take the second exit onto the A37, the Dorchester Road. So, as you know, sadly, the sea has now faded away behind us, unfortunately. So, that's it. The end of the seaside for this season. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we will see it again, no doubt. And just keep an eye, guys. And obviously, what I'll do once again, I'll throw in these teasers. I'll just do a behind the scenes and they won't be uploaded. So you might just only spot lift videos and then people will know what is this going to be used for. But I'd always want to keep everything a big surprise. And yes, we'll be back for more fun and excitement. And so anyway, so in 1.1 miles, take the second exit onto the A37, the Dorchester Road. Okay then, we are now arriving into Yeovil. So this is Yeovil in Dorset, and of course you've got two stations, Yeovil Junction and Yeovil Penmill, and there's directional signs to the likes of Salisbury on the A30, Bristol on the A37 and Throom on the A359. But we've got to take the first exit, which points towards Exeter and Taunton, and that is where we'll potentially pick up the M5 motorway. So we're now coming into Yeovil right now. So Yeovil is right here. So welcome to Yeovil, and so you've got important signs there. So you've got the Yeovil attractions, which includes, like, I think there's a Lido here, I'm not sure. Then of course the Fleet Air Museum. So you've got Links, Handstone, Lufton. So we're gonna
leave at the first exit.
Leave at the first exit. So here's the Quicksilver Mail. That's a bit like the similar
now leave the roundabout.
Design to the Crooked House a bit, except it not being crooked. Anyway, now coming towards. So we're now in Yeovil. So this is Yeovil. So still on the south area. So welcome to Yeovil. So anyway, here we go. So anyway, there's Spa here. There's a Spa so far, and so that's all the good shops that you can find here in Yeovil. The main town centre is further back. So the time now is 11:55, 5 to 12 midday. So in 0.4 miles, take the second exit onto Watercombe Lane. Or was it Watercombe? So here we go. So
In a quarter mile, leave the roundabout at the second exit. Now leave the roundabout. For the next 3 miles, keep straight on this road.
Okay then. Okay then, guys, here we go. We're now on the A303 bound towards Exeter. So the services is in 1.3 mile. So in 2.9 miles at the roundabout, take the third exit and continue along the A303 towards Exeter. So anyway, there's a BP petrol station. Now we've been on the A303. Yeah, Londis. Now obviously we've been on the A303 road in the past. From when obviously the M27 got gridlocked and we had to divert onto the A338 towards Salisbury and then the A303 towards Andover to rejoin the A34 heading into Cheveley, which would then take us up towards Wendlebury interchange for the M40 to go along to Cherwell Valley, then the M40 into the centre towards Birmingham, and then head back towards the Dudley direction. So now we're on our way downwards. So this is going a bit more south. So we've gone up northwards and now we're going south again. That's bizarre. And so here we go. Now going along the A303 towards Exeter. So it's 1.3 miles. So here we go. See you in a moment. Okay, continuing along the A303. Now in 5.4 miles, we've got to take the fourth exit onto the A358, which will take us towards Taunton. And so Taunton is where we're going to head for. And Exeter gets the name from the River Exe. And of course, if you come that way, that takes you to places such as Torquay and also Paynton and Newton Abbot. And you've got this road called the A380, that's where the M5 starts from. And when you get towards that area, you'll see a variety of iconic places, and that will take you to Paynton, Torquay, and also Babbacombe for the model village. And so here we go. So the time is now 12:12. So in 4.3 miles, take the A358 towards Taunton. This exit. Anyway.
Now leave the roundabout.
Anyway, leaving the roundabout, so we're now following the signs towards the M5.
Keep straight on this road.
So we're now along the A358. So we're going to keep straight on the road, and in 8.6 miles, we'll be entering the M5 towards the Midlands, and that will be our motorway back. And of course we'll be heading in by Bristol way, so you'll see Bristol docks and a bit of the sea, and that will be our last view of the sea for the rest of the year. Now obviously, as you know, the weather, it's still summertime, but obviously, as you know, September will be rolling in a couple of few weeks. Everyone will be going back to school after the 6 weeks break, and then autumn will be starting. The leaves will start changing colour from to a browny colour. They'll start coming off the trees. Then the clocks will go back. That means longer nights and shorter days, and that will be the end of the summer season for all of us. Sign there for Broadway. So that will be the end of the summer season for all of us. The weather will turn miserable, even though we'll have Halloween and also bonfire. Then we'll have and then of course we'll have Christmas, and the New Year's celebration, and then January come when we'll have still the miserable weather. February it'll get milder. March it will change slightly, and that is when the clocks will go forward. So the clocks will then go forward in March, April time, and then when April comes, that will be when the peak will begin to climb into the warmer weather. So April will be when we'll have the lovely weather, and also Easter. And then when May comes along, May time will be when it's the summer months, and then June, when everyone will be out and about again, June the summer, and then July when the kids break up from school, and then it will be August all over again. So that means it's not gone forever, it always repeats every single year, so you're not missed out. So 6.6 miles, M5, the Midlands. Okay then, that's it guys, we're now entering the M5 motorway, and this is going to take us in the northerly direction. So M5 North, taking us away from so this is taking us away now. So
keep straight on this road.
Now coming across the River Tone. So that junction, it was junction 25.
That was?
Yeah. So we've now left the lovely Dorset behind. So now Midlands, South Wales. So 9 miles into Bridgewater, 47 miles to Bristol, and 161 miles to London. So that's it everyone. So even though we got the direction point for Weston-super-Mare, because if we had set the destination for further up towards Dudley, it would take us onto the M3, which would then take us towards the A34, which was the road we came down on. But however, coming a different route, seeing like different sites, etc. But we are looking forward to seeing all the sites again. So we're now heading out of the so the coming up services is in 5 miles and 17 minutes. 17 miles. And so we will be coming up to the Bridgewater Harbour pylon shortly, similar to the Drayton ones, and also the ones down at Exeter and Newton Abbot, and also over Crawley Way. And so we're now heading. This has been a fantastic adventure, and we're looking forward to doing that once again. So here we go.
Put the sat nav off now, and yeah.
Okay, I can now turn off the sat nav because we know where we're going now. So it's straight up the M5. So here we go. Camera's dropped just to allow changing lanes. So we're now heading so now going upwards. So this will bring us up to the Bridgewater Harbour pylons. I know you've got them similar ones over at Drayton area, but obviously that's coming to an end now. There's the standard pylons. Those are the standard normal miniature pylons. The Bridgewater ones shouldn't be long now. The transmission line, and just like the 1928 style transmission lines. So 1.5 mile is Moto's Bridgewater services with BP, Costa, etc. So the Bridgewater half pylons will be round this bend shortly. And here they are. That's the Bridgewater half pylons. Then of course you got the miniature style ones at the moment, or they're probably known as the Taunton half pylons, and there's a street deck going towards Taunton. So this is J24 for Bridgewater and Minehead. Minehead is where Butlins is based. So here comes Bridgewater services. Right now, Bridgewater. So J24, Bridgewater, Minehead and the A38. And the A38 will take you all the way towards Burton as well, up in the East Midlands. The A39 the services, Huntworth as well. So South Wales, Bristol in 40 miles and 154 miles to London, and we're going across the River Parret, or the River Parret. There are the miniature pylons, the miniature half pylons. Those are similar to the ones that you'll see closer to Manchester Airport. Okay, we're now gone away from Bridgewater now. So Bridgewater is over that way, and so coming up we've got like the major pylons, and then of course you have the T-shaped ones which are coming up as well. Now the T-shaped ones are like the newer environmental friendly ones, which are like the new transmission lines to replace all the old metal beam ones. These ones are like the normal taller ones. Then of course you got the big giant metal ones which we've seen over in Hampshire way and Oxfordshire. So anyway, here is the Morrison's distribution centre. This is Morrison's, one of the biggest, one of the supermarkets, still to retain salad bars, and also they have the hot food counter where you get your rotisseries from. So you got sign here for Wells Cathedral, Glastonbury, Abbey, Antor and Clark's Village. Now that's the most iconic thing, Glastonbury, for the Glastonbury Festival. And so this is the junction for Glastonbury. Obviously this place would get manic when it's the Glastonbury Festival, so here we are. Okay then, we've just gone past the junction for Weston-super-Mare, which is the finest seaside resort in the southwest of England. So just gone by Weston, home to the Grand Pier, the most iconic popular tourist attraction. And now we're heading away from Weston now, and we'll be heading upwards towards so 20 miles to Bristol and 135 miles to London. So the next service is in 12 miles, and that one is Gordano services, or Gordino. So here we go. Alright then, here we are now, heading along the twisty motorway. So sign here for there's a van for Wiltshire Farm Foods, and there's the T-shaped pylons just right here, which are the new environmental friendly ones to replace the old metal beam pylons. So as the motorway is heading along, we're coming up towards Clevedon, and also you've got the transmission station, which is over there. Transmission station near Clevedon. And so sign here for Nailsea and Pill. So I'll see you when we get close to Bristol. Okay then guys, as you know, the M5 southbound is up there, so now the northbound is low downwards, but I'd rather be up there rather than being down here. But obviously that's life, unfortunately. Holidays don't last, breaks don't last forever, they only last a couple of days. So what you do, you just have to make the most of it. So anyway, there's a transporter with some cars being taken probably to and from someone, like going for repairs. Over there you've got a good view that goes over towards Portishead, and there is the Avonmouth docks. So the Avonmouth docks is coming up. So you know, I'd rather be up there, probably heading onwards towards Dorset or Devon. So jealous to see those people going up on their holidays, or probably going on day trips. Oh, so jealous. Really, really missing Dorset so far now. And so here we go. We're now twisting around this corner. So I know we've got more trips to come. So obviously there will be bus journeys still to be covered, and then we'll possibly finish for the winter season, and we'll start back up maybe in February or March time. But it's been an amazing time. We're hoping that we'll get down here again, see all the lovely sights, and we'll reminisce all the lovely favourite places. So anyway, here comes the T-shaped pylons. So we'll be going over the Avonmouth Bridge shortly. So I'll be going over the Avonmouth Bridge. So I've got a sign here for Bristol City Centre, Park and Ride, leave at J18. And so 20 miles, M5. So you have further information. So coming up now is this junction. So got sign for Wye Valley, Forest of Dean, Tintern Abbey, and also Chepstow. This one coming up now is for Clifton Toll, Portishead, and the Royal Portbury Dock, and the A369. And this is also for where you get off for Gordana services, and that's a service station we usually stop at en route towards Weston. If you remember us when we did Weston Supermare. So anyway, here's a sign: services, Portishead, Clifton Toll, Royal Portbury Dock, Bristol City Centre, Gordana services. Here comes the exit for the services at Gordana. Welcome break. Left so we've now left so we'll be leaving Somerset, so we've done Dorset and Somerset, the Midlands, London, M4 East, Chepstow, M48. Now we're climbing up the bridge, up the Avonmouth Bridge, where we'll cross the River Avon, leading into Avonmouth Harbour. We are pushing up the hill. There used to be some taller sized pylons, but they've been replaced by the updated ones. But anyway, there's the wind turbines, and there's the last bit of the sea. Unfortunately, that's the last sea view. Really gonna miss this. Bristol, Avonmouth and Docks. There, of course, Bristol and the airport, Shirehampton. So M49. So we got to get London. So we got to get the Midlands in. So that was directional information. Cardiff and Newport. And 14 miles to Chepstow and 121 miles to London. So here is the Blue Bridge coming up. It's a grey colour, similar to the one at Telford. Here we are. It's the Blue Bridge. Coming up next is, of course, Cribbs Causeway, Patchway, which has the Asda Supercentre, which used to be the Asda Walmart Supercentre, and of course the Cribbs Causeway Shopping Centre, known as the Mall at Cribbs. And that has the John Lewis and Partners department store, and of course a Marks and Spencer's M&S. Now the shopping centre is over there, which is the out of town shopping centre. Of course, there's a B&M Bargains, which used to be a Best Buy and a Kiddie Care, and before Best Buy it was MFI. As Best Buy bought out a handful of ex-MFI stores, but obviously this one didn't become Ultimate Outdoors after. You got B&Q here as well, Block and Quail, and of course there's a Macro as well, Wholesales, Sophology. So we'll be coming up next to the RAC control building over here at Bristol. So it's a lovely, well, it's a bit of a dull day today, unfortunately, compared to the last couple of days we've had in Dorset. And there's a view. That's the last bits of the sea just before we say goodbye and we go inland. Because we're actually heading in, we're going to start turning into inland now, and that is where we'll be now, unfortunately. The RAC control centre. So you'll be seeing the telegraph pole version of the Harther pylons once we've gone beyond Michael Wood services. And so sign here, Midlands, Gloucester, M5 motorway. Way goes towards South Wales and also to the famous Bryn, what's a girling? I'm very happiness, and I'll tell you for what, baby, when I make you where the bees are known, islands in the stream, that is what we are, no one in between, how can we be wrong, sail away with me to another world, and we rely on each other. And you know what that is? That is off Gavin and Stacey, filmed in Barry Island. So you can get that way towards Barry Island. Rob Brydon, who's also a presenter on Would I Lie to You? And so here we go. Here are the big metal giants. I think these are the big pylons that also plough towards Oxford Way. Obviously, we're now leaving. Also in that right field there's actually a trailer from the former electrical goods chain Comet, which went bust in 2012. Okay, 1.5 miles towards Michael Wood services. This one is Subway, Waitrose and Partners, Burger King, Starbucks and WH Smiths. So we're now coming into Gloucestershire now, so this is Gloucestershire. So we're now in Gloucestershire. So we're now in Gloucestershire now. There's a sign there for the services. bridge to gain access between the northbound and the southbound service stations. Away from so we're just now into Gloucestershire now, so we'll be coming up to the telegraph pole versions of the Harther pylons, and of course this parts of this area is covered on the Video 125's Lickey Voyager driver's eye view, if you haven't seen the Lickey Voyager driver's eye view on DVD. And for those people who might probably own that DVD, just feel free to watch it. You might see some good familiar sights, and so that's just the information. If you've watched the Lickey Voyager driver's eye view, will probably want to get that DVD, because I already got the Lickey Voyager driver's eye view DVD, which is a service. It's form of the Virgin Cross Country service from Exeter to Newcastle. Exeter to Newcastle, but obviously the video started at Bristol Temple Meads and called at Bristol Parkway, then on to Cheltenham Spa, then up to Birmingham's New Street Station, and then going up towards Derby, where obviously the train would then continue further up towards Newcastle. So there's the miniature Harther pylon. So obviously, as you know, we don't tend to do much of like talking and painting, but if that's the case, I'll deliver you. I've actually also decided to think of delivering you a virtual talkie. So that'll be something. Anyway, there's the miniature pylons. So we're now out of the so we're now coming towards Stroud, and there's Seoul, Orr, Berkeley, Bollow, Oley, Box, and so these are just like standard telegraph poles, because I think the pylon versions probably were worn out, so they were then later replaced. So we're now heading somewhere by Slad Edge, so we've now left the lovely Dorset behind, and also Somerset as well. So the seaside area is all now faded away, as we'll be inland now for the foreseeable. So we won't be seeing the sea anymore, possibly until probably the summer comes next year. But who knows? Anything could happen. We didn't see much of the sea last year because obviously we were going to Orlando. Obviously, because we went to Orlando last year, it was a fantastic. We were going to try and have a look at the beaches over in Florida, which was over like Cocoa Beach in Daytona. Obviously, unfortunately, we couldn't make it because Hurricane Helene stopped everything. If you remembered, we had Hurricane Helene and we got out before Hurricane Milton hit, which was the major storm in Orlando, which was coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. Obviously we flew with Virgin Atlantic out of Manchester. As always, we've always flown with Virgin Atlantic, flying out of Terminal 2 with flying into Terminals A and B at MCO, which is the old terminal for all the international flights, because all the international flights have moved to Terminal C. The good thing about Terminal A and B, you've got the transit system, the monorail, which has the famous Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer announcement. Obviously in Terminal C you don't get the shuttle from one end to another, but Buddy Dyer's message is played over the tannoy system, I believe. Well, they call it the intercom in America. So here comes a junction. This is junction 13 for Stroud and the A419. Here's the last look of the miniature Harther pylons before we head back. That's it, guys. The end. So I'll see you when we get towards where we need to be. Okay, we're now coming along. So coming up in a moment is Tewkesbury, which is home to Tewkesbury Abbey, and also the Cotswold Designer Outlet, which is the new shopping complex.
We're stopping at the services.
Yeah, Strensham. So we'll be stopping at Strensham Services. So we're also closer to Cheltenham, which is home to the iconic Cheltenham Regency. Also, you've got the Regent Arcade, which is an indoor shopping centre. It's one of the only major shopping centres left in Cheltenham. Now, Cheltenham only has one high-end department store, and that's John Lewis and Partners. Because you've lost the Debenhams. Well, that Debenhams closed before the actual Debenhams company went bust, because that space had to be closed to make way for John Lewis. And of course, one of the best favourite department stores that I liked in Cheltenham was Cavendish House. Now, Cavendish House became part of the House of Fraser Group, but sadly the company had been struggling to keep up on the retail powerhouse. There's not many of the House of Fraser stores became part of Fraser's, because some of the old BT stores are facing closure. Like, obviously they're closing the Worcester one. Fingers crossed I should get to Worcester soon, but I don't know if I'll have the time for it. But all you gotta do is just make the most of it just before the winter rolls in. That's life, unfortunately. So A46 towards Evesham and the A438 towards Tewkesbury at J9. Tewkesbury Abbey. Okay, 1 mile to Strensham services, and then it's 29 miles up towards Frankley, but we're not going that far to Frankley. We're actually getting off shortly, so we'll be pulling over at the Road Chef Strensham services, which is the northbound. Now the southbound services has a bit of a unique character. It is a little bit similar as you walk into Homeward Park, which is over on the M42, except that one doesn't have a mezzanine, and except Homeward Park has a mezzanine and this one doesn't. So we're just arriving at Strensham northbound, and this is the base for the Midlands Air Ambulance. So the Midlands Air Ambulance is actually based here at Strensham. So we're in the line. So the M5 stretches further towards the Midlands, Worcester and Birmingham. And here we are. Here we are, just arriving at...
All the cars driving past, thinking, look at all them rich buggers pulling up to there.
Now the facilities here, you've got a co-op, a McDonald's, Costa drive-through, Days Inn, and so much more. And so the services building's just right here. So welcome to Strensham services. So we've got to get into the building here at Strensham. Road Chef, welcome to Strensham services. Alright, this is Worcester South coming up for the A44, and also towards Grafton Flyford as well, and also for Evesham via Worcestershire Parkway and Pershore. And that is where the first bus service X50 comes along, which goes from Worcester to Evesham. Run by First Bus, one of the best routes in the depot. Fingers crossed I shall get to Evesham again in the very near future. Might get back to Evesham next year. But it's been a fantastic time. So here's some directional signage here now. So it's 3 miles to Worcester North, 18 miles to Kidderminster, and 26 miles to Birmingham. So we're now heading well away from...
Where's the watch it said? Where's Oliver's kids while they're off school?
Who has them? She'll have them in the daytime and then she'll bring them back in the daytime.
But them bored out the mines, aren't they?
They're going there.
I bet them bored out the mines, aren't they?
Yeah, but she doesn't do nothing with them. That's the thing, she never does anything with them. That annoys Sophie, that does. She doesn't take them to parks or anything like that. I mean, Alfie's alright, he's at that age now, he goes out with his friends to play football or whatever. But Mia and Archie don't.
Now coming to Worcester North now. This is for Kidderminster and the A449, and then so that's junction 6, and junction 5 is for Droitwich, the Droitwich transmission station, and also for as well as Droitwich, it also goes on towards Bromsgrove. So here we go. Worcester North. Okay then everyone, coming up to junction 4A is where we'll meet up with the M42, and that is the M42 that takes us back like over Solihull Way and also onto also on towards the M40 to proceed onto the south coast once again, and that'll take us back down towards through Warwickshire and then on to Cherwell Valley, and also down towards Oxford, and then I'll take us back towards Dorset, and that's the outbound journey. Hopefully one day we will be back on that motorway. I know we do use the M42 a lot for various places, but it'll be a while before we go on the M40 again, because we won't be doing the M40 anymore now, possibly until the next year or so. But we've had a fantastic time, so here we go, now heading along. So I'd like to say on behalf of everyone, so the next video will be shown shortly. So here we are along the M5 now. Anyway guys, that's the end of the Dorset travel blog 2025. I hope you enjoyed it, and please be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jersbus Trampoline Lift Adventures. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I will get back down to Dorset again and do all the fun that I knew and love. And there will be a chance I will come back. I will go back again. But now, as for you all guys, as you know, summer's coming to an end now, unfortunately. Well, obviously we're coming into September soon, so it'll be the end of the lovely British summertime, and autumn will be coming in, then the misery of the winter, and then the spring peak will commence from January of next year. But I know it'll take a while before we see the beautiful sunshine again. But obviously, all good things must come to an end, and so we do it. So the shows go on, and so do we. Thank you for watching.